Good morning, this is Robin Beaver on the product spread talk on the 6th of July at 7:30 in the morning London time. The chart in front of you is gas oil, and we'll look at gas oil structure first, then the heat and RBOB. As an overall, structure looks steady and as if we're going to go higher, with the odd little exception. And first of all, July oil gas oil. It hit its target 2 trading days ago to minus 150. No further upside unless it moves and closes over 150, whereupon the target would be towards plus 3. It must hold the 5-day moving average between minus 2.25 and 250. Otherwise, it's probably dipping back to the 8-day moving average around minus 3.25. It's okay whilst it's over minus 3.5, but a move and close below here, the 13-day would be bad news. Worrying stochastic, were it to turn negative, it would do so with bearish divergence. This is one to sit out a little bit here. Minus 150 is the key pivot for upside. It's not above there, and unless it does, no targets higher for the moment. The SpreadTalk is fine whilst it's over 6.75 and could easily make its way to minus 3. It must hold over 6.75 for that upside to be maintained, but at the same time it must not close below minus 750, the 5-day moving average, or we're in for a bit more of a dip. The red deck, it virtually hit its target on Thursday to minus 24. No further targets higher unless it moves and closes over minus 24, whereupon the target would be minus 15.25. It's okay whilst it stays above these short-term moving averages, culminating in the lowest one, the 8-day moving average, around about minus 28.25. It mustn't close below there or it's going to look ragged, but a move and close below the 5-day at minus 26.75 would be an indication that it's going into support testing mode. It's got a nice positive stochastic and it should edge higher, but only a move and close over 24 would give it some serious upside. Moving on to heating oil structure. Moving on to heating oil structure. The ORGSEP is fine whilst it's above the 5-day moving average at minus 153. It has a target to minus 73. 5-day gap's a little wide, so don't be surprised by a pullback. But whilst over minus 153, it's maintaining momentum north. Were it to move and close below minus 180 area, the 8 and 13-day, it would be deemed to be running out of steam. The SpreadTalk has a target higher to minus 384, which is valid whilst it stays above minus 464. The 5-day gap is too wide, so don't be surprised by attempts to dip back a little bit and cool down, but this target is valid whilst it stays over minus 464. And the red deck on heat is looking reasonably good whilst it's over the minus 1011 area, the 13-day moving average. It maintains this target to minus 848. It really needs to hold above the 21-day on any dip at minus 1078, otherwise it's failing. But at the moment, these short-term moving averages below the market are support, and it should make its way to minus 848. And RBOB, finally, ORGSEP, steady whilst it's over 154, should make its way towards 391. It must not move and close below here, and in the worst case, below the 5-day at 149, otherwise it's in trouble. Only a move and close below the 8 and 13-day at around about 124 would suggest a failure and lower numbers. The SpreadTalk is doing okay, but it needs to kick in and get above 1174, the 13-day moving average, to give it a target to 1258. It must not close back below the 34-day at 1078, otherwise it's totally failing. It's in amongst the short-term moving averages and finding support. It's unlikely that it's going to crater, and it's more likely to run up to 1258. It's got a nice positive stochastic. And the red deck on RBOB, doing okay whilst it's above the 13-day at minus 182, has a target to back to flat if it stays above here. No real downside unless it closes below the 8-day at minus 246. It's developing upside with a nice positive stochastic. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.